Demonology, or the scientific study of demons, used to be a flourishing science like alchemy during the 15th and 16th centuries in Europe, especially at the height of the crazed witch hunts that gained fame like the Salem witch trials. Is it all hogwash, or is there something supernaturally authentic to the whole ordeal? In this video, we'll show you some actual cases of demonic possession that might definitely change your perspective. So hit that like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video. Ignorance might be bliss, but it leaves us vulnerable and impotent. This is a weakness that is contrary to our innate drive for preservation. So in this quest to seek answers for sickness, disease, deformity, or events that could not otherwise be explained, demonology became significant. Plus, since most demonologists were Catholics, the study was instrumental in the Counter-Reformation, which was designed to bring people back to the Catholic Church. Yes, it does sound a bit like fear-mongering. However, the increase in scientific knowledge during the early 17th century caused the influence of demonology to subside. So let's thank God for that. Yet that doesn't change the phenomena of witchcraft in 16th and 17th century Europe, when many argue that more killings were done in the name of religion than any other entity in the world. They do fail to realize that religions were taking on the role of the law, the state, the judges, and the legislators. And those patterns of church and state prosecutions varied widely across Europe and North America. In some places, prosecution seems to have occurred in part because of judicial disorganization. In others, certain individuals who were in power found it necessary to have trials. Some places had few trials and no torture, but in other places, hundreds of people were tortured and executed within a short period of time. And in some cases, trials became a part of everyday life, which contributed to the hysterical, furious, and heinous events. We now bring you these actual cases. Aix-en-Provence possessions. The Aix-en-Provence possessions were a series of cases of demonic possessions occurring among the Ursuline nuns of Aix-en-Provence in the south of France in 1611. Allegedly, Balberith, aka the Lord of the Covenant, was one of the many demons responsible for the possessions of Aix-en-Provence. Other demons included were Beelzebub, Ashtaroth, or the teacher of the sciences and revealer of events in the past, present, and future, were all supposedly present in the possession, as well as Asmodeus, aka the King of Demons. Sister Madeleine de Demandel of the Ursuline Convent proclaimed she was possessed by the aforementioned demons in the early 17th century. She claimed she saw visions, danced and sang love songs, writhed in indecent behavior, and told blood-chilling tales of sodomy, as well as engaged in the cannibal eating of children. Shortly after her startling accounts, Father Goffridi, her confessor, was determined to have seduced and bewitched her. He was burnt at the axe in 1611 before being tortured. The two nuns, Sister Madeleine de Mandel and Sister Louise Capel, were later expelled from the convent. So contrary to belief, not only women were accused of being witches. Loudun possessions. Also in France in 1634, the most famous case of possession hysteria in history occurred in a small town called Loudun. It was speculated that Father Urbain Grandier inflicted possession onto the Ursuline nuns of Loudun. These accusations first began with the Mother Superior Jeanne d'Agnes' claims of having illicit and demonic dreams in which Grandier was portrayed. Unfortunately for the tortured nun, no amount of penance kept her dreams at bay, and soon the other nuns began having the same nightmares of demons and then possessions. In demonology, to execute exorcisms, it is necessary to know the names of the demons wreaking the havoc. In this case, the demon's name responsible was Asmodeus, the king of the demons and the lust demon who was smitten with desire for Sarah, the daughter of Ragul, and not the wife of Abraham. So much so that he killed her 7 husbands each on their wedding nights. Then there was the demon Zabulon, who was mostly common for the possession of the nuns of Loudun. But the torment of the nuns only progressed as each one of them succumbed to the will of other demons. As time progressed, Mother Superior Jeanne d'Agnes added more names to the roster of demons possessing the nuns. These demons include Isaac Aaron, demon of temptations of the flesh; Astaroth, a female demon lord and duke of hell; Gressel, keeper of the books of the abyss; Amand, a demon of the order of thrones; Leviathan, demon of the serpent; Behemoth, demon of indulgence; Beheri, Isis, Celsus, Achaos, and a fallen angel Sedon, Alex; Nepathalon, a demon of sickness; Chalm, Uriel, often confused with the archangel, but he is a demon of defiance; and Atchis, a demon chief. After the exorcisms, local priest Father Urbain Grandier was charged with summoning the demons. He was then convicted, tortured, and then sent to his death by being burnt alive. The nuns were apparently exorcised by Father Surin, a famous exorcist at the time. However, he later succumbed to the very demons he banished and went insane. Not surprisingly, the possessions finally ceased when in 1637 the fraud was supposedly uncovered by Agenor de Gasparin, who claimed it was all a huge prank that went overboard. And perhaps he would know. After all, he is responsible for the science of table tipping, which is one of the first methods of the Ouija board. The possession of Roland Doe. It all took place in the late 1940s in the US, where priests of the Roman Catholic Church performed a series of exorcisms on a boy, documented under the pseudonym Roland Doe or Robbie Mannheim. The 14-year-old boy was the alleged victim of demonic possession, and the events were recorded by the attending priest, Raymond J. Bishop. Subsequent supernatural claims surrounding the events were used as elements in William Peter Blatty's novel The Exorcist in 1971. So if this does sound a bit familiar, now you know where the story came from. Roland was born into a German Lutheran family and was an only child whose only playmate was his adult Aunt Harriet, who was a spiritualist. She introduced Roland to the Ouija board, and this seems to be the beginning of the demon's attachment to Roland. According to author Thomas B. Allen, after Aunt Harriet's death, the family experienced strange noises, furniture moving on its own accord, and even levitating. The family quickly called upon their Lutheran pastor, Luther Miles Schultz, for help. Long interested in parapsychology, Schultz arranged for the boy to spend a night in his home in order to observe him. And sure enough, Schultz witnessed the same paranormal activity and advised the boy's parents to see a Catholic priest. Roland soon underwent a number of exorcisms, with reports from newspapers and almost 50 people testifying to the possession, including Jesuit priest Father Walter H. Halloran, who participated in the exorcism and was one of the last surviving eyewitnesses of the events. However, author Allen still claims that definitive proof that the boy was possessed by malevolent spirits is unattainable. According to Allen, a diary kept by attending priest Father Raymond J. Bishop detailed the exorcism performed on the anonymous person that was identified as Roland Doe, aka Robbie, and the contents revealed that during the exorcism the boy allegedly slipped out of one of his hand restraints, broke a bed spring from under the mattress, and used it as an impromptu weapon, slashing the priest's arm and resulting in the exorcism ritual being halted. The family had also traveled to St. Louis, where Roland's cousin contacted one of his professors at St. Louis University, who was also a bishop, who in turn spoke to William S. Bowdern, an associate at College Church. Together, these priests visited Roland in his relative's home, where they allegedly observed a shaking bed, flying objects, the boy speaking in a guttural voice, and exhibiting an aversion to anything sacred. And that is when Bowdern was granted permission from the Archbishop to perform another exorcism. Before the next exorcism ritual began, another priest, Walter Halloran, was called to the psychiatric wing of the hospital, where he was asked to assist Bowdern. William Van Roo, a third Jesuit priest, was also there to assist. Halloran stated that during this scene, various marks appeared on the teenager's body, and stated that during the Litany of the Saints portion of the exorcism ritual, the boy's mattress began to shake. Moreover, Roland broke Halloran's nose during the process. Halloran told a reporter that after the rite was over, the anonymous subject of the exorcism went on to lead a rather ordinary life. But that didn't prevent the Alexian Brothers Hospital in South St. Louis, Missouri, the place where the exorcism took place, from being demolished. Convictions that demons do exist and that they harass, derange, and smite human beings goes back as far as religion itself. In ancient Mesopotamia, Babylonian priests performed exorcisms by casting wax figurines of demons into a fire. The Hindu Vedas, thought to have been written between 1500 and 500 BC, refer to supernatural beings known as asuras, largely known today as demons that challenge the gods and sabotage human affairs. For the ancient Greeks as well, demon-like creatures lurked in the unknown fringes of the human world. Do you believe that these events did actually take place, or are you still skeptical? Leave your comments down below, then hit that like button, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video.